Good afternoon. Thank you for stopping by Healing Conversations with Z. This is Zuri BB, and we're going to have a little conversation before I pull the Sacred Geometry deck card, even though you see the card here. I was just talking away, and then I looked and I realized the video was not playing. Okay, but that's okay, because I have all the information here that I talked about. What I'm going to talk about before that, I'll talk about that card, is, I always talk about how we need to get into union with ourselves. And, but furthermore, the way to do that is to study. And so my saying is study to show thyself approved. So that's what I'm doing. I'm studying, and I've been reading the Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life book, and it's been explaining so much to me. And I'm going to read just a short portion of what I've read just last night and see how it applies to this card that's popped out. I'm glad I didn't start reading that card. I just popped it out. And so I'll just read what I read before. The higher self is another way of saying get in union with yourself. And what it says is we literally exist in other worlds besides this one. There are so many dimensions and worlds that it surpasses human capacity to conceive of it. The worlds are mathematical, and the spacing and wavelengths in and between these levels are identical to the relationships within musical octaves and other aspects of life. Our third dimension consciousness has been probably severed from your higher aspect, so you're only aware of what's going on here on earth. This is not normal for beings in a natural, unfallen state. The norm is that beings first became aware of several levels at once, like chords in music, until finally, as they grow, they become aware of everything, everywhere at once. We probably exist on 5 or more levels. Though there is a break between this dimension and others, when you connect with your higher self, you mend the break, after which you start becoming aware of the higher levels, and the higher levels start paying attention to you. And that's when you can communicate with the higher levels. This connection to the higher self is probably the most important thing that could happen in your life. More important than the information that I'm sharing with you right now. Connecting with the higher self is more important than learning to activate the Merkaba. Because if you connect to your higher self, you will get clear information on how to proceed step by step through any reality, and how to lead yourself back home into the full consciousness of God. That is deep. I'm reading it for the second time, and it's just deep. So you can not only talk to other folk, but you can come back and then get into the full consciousness of God, because we're made in his image. Remember that? When you connect with your higher self, the rest will happen automatically. You will still have to live your life, but everything you do will have great powers and wisdom within your actions, thoughts, and emotions. I'm going to stop right there, because that's just a lot to swallow right there within itself. Basically it's saying when you connect to your higher self, you will mend the ability for you to go to other realms and interact with others in their realms, and then you'll still be able to come back to this realm. And the way that it said, you will be able to come into the full consciousness of God. So you'll be able to understand everything. And so I had, at this point, this is when I had shuffled the cards, and I was asking with the Sacred Oracle, Sacred Geometry Oracle, that card was going to give me for the day. And I just happened to peek over a little bit, and I saw that the clock was not ticking. And I'm glad I stopped at this point. So now I'm caught up. It's the mandala. And looking at that mandala is part of the sacred geometry, because you got all these things going on. Looks like sixes and nines and spirals and swirls. And then you see all these colors that are in the chakras. And then you see things, it's like beams of light. You know, you have the sun, and then you have the moon, and then you have the clouds. So it's just all kind of things going on here. But let's actually read what the card says, because I've never pulled this card. So let's see what it says. Sacred round. Okay. Sacred round. Interesting. The Sanskrit word mandala means circle and center. In spiritual practices and in psychology, it denotes circular imagery that is painted, drawn, constructed, or danced. Excuse me. Mandalas are outward expressions of internal processes and can be viewed passively as a centering device, as in meditation. They may also be created by individuals as a means of communicating with one's center and initiating healing and transformation, becoming in the full consciousness of God. If you choose the mandala card, you are invited to consider your life as inherently whole and healthy. If there are disparate energies at work, pull them into your sacred center and view them as part of your whole. They are integral elements, but only part of your story. You may wish to do a mandala drawing, which will represent this moment in your life and will reveal insights from your unconscious that you may not have been considering. Simply use a compass or a circular template as your beginning. Then give yourself permission to bring forth whatever comes to you. Do not try to censor your thoughts or judge the outcome. Use color and image, word and shape to create a picture of your life at this juncture. Watch what appears and view it as a message of wholeness. Interesting. I might actually do that. But basically, this card talked about becoming, once you become one with yourself, it's a way to communicate with one's center. And one's center is the fullness of God. And in initiating healing and transformation. So, wow, that's pretty interesting. I'm going to leave this message as it is right here. And I'm going to meditate on that myself. I hope that this message finds you in good spirits, finds you in healing, finds you in wanting to truly know who you are so that you can become in full consciousness with God. You all take care. Peace.